50 Cent posting about the comments that Joe Budden made on his podcast against 50. So Joe Budden, on the Joe Budden podcast, and his, podcasts, co-podcasters, whatever you call them, they spoke about 50 commenting on Irv Gotti's death. And I believe what Joe said was that 50 Cent needs therapy. And so 50, of course, took that screenshot of Joe and decided he was going to post him and say, I don't know what he said, but in true 50 fashion, he said what he said. Sparking debate or engagement probably from people. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even think it's real smoke that he has for people. I just think he's putting it online because that's part of his business. Part of his business is trolling. So if Joe Budden, who has one of the biggest platforms in the hip hop space, is going to make these comments about something you did, and look, everyone's like, oh, we listen and we don't judge. No, everybody's judging. Everybody's judging online. And so Joe had this debate with his co-host, and they were talking about whether it was right or wrong, or they were making the arguments of why 50 would say the things that he said in light of or after the passing of Irv Gotti. And I think a lot of people felt like it was insensitive. But for Joe to say something, I guess that got under 50 Cent's skin, and he posted about it. So now the latest thing is that these two are going back and forth. Well, not back and forth, because I haven't heard Joe's response to 50 posting him. But I'm sure he likes it. Why wouldn't he? That's what they do it for, the engagement. Like, I was just sitting on here thinking about that, right? I was like, why is everyone coming at me? I love Kendrick. Don't say, I just made a comment. But actually, that's how you get the engagement. When people disagree with you and they comment, you get the engagement. And I think that that's what 50 Cent is doing. So I don't think when he posts about someone, there really is that much smoke. I think he feels like he's required to do these things. Because what other topics is he going to talk about? So he's fresh off of the heels of the stuff with Meech. Because a week or two ago, it was 50 and Meech going at each other. And I guess that died down a little bit, right? People said that was the conversation online. It's all about the conversation online. Our attention is all like, what do you guys think about that? It's like all of our attention is on the same things, right? Kanye decides he wants to do this rant, everybody's talking about it. 50 Cent goes at Meech, everyone's talking about it. But that was last week. So what is he gonna do? You gotta, who's talking about me? What are people saying about me? Oh, Joe Budden's talking about me, big platform. You know what? I would bet that he's not gonna necessarily post someone and give them that shine if they don't have a big enough following. So it's all about the egos and these guys going at each other, but driving engagement and conversation online, which in turn is upping their numbers. So they'll take the stats from what they're doing and they go monetize it. So he's monetizing trolling. So of course he said something about Joe Budden. So the two of them went back. I keep saying back and forth. We're waiting to see what Joe says, but he went back and forth with his co-hosts on it because of course people on his podcast, some of them were taking the position of, look, if you got beef with someone and they pass away, is this smoke forever? Or does the beef die when you die? And Joe was saying when someone passes that the beef is over. If he has problems with anybody and they pass, it's over. I don't know. I think it's a little bit much when people pass and you're like, I don't speak ill of the dead, and I think that that's a rule that I know in Jewish religion I was told that when somebody passes, it's like you have to it's a certain amount of time that you have to let go before you can say anything negative. I guess that's some sort of religious belief for some people, maybe not just in Jewish tradition, but I live by a code like that. Similarly, like, I'm not going to speak about someone when they pass. But the other side of that argument is that the beef never dies if someone tries to kill you, and I don't think we've ever, how do I say, I don't think we've ever confirmed, right, that this person was trying to kill him, but that's what the internet runs with. That's what everyone says. Oh, well, they had beef, he got shot 9 times or 8 times. I can't even remember. But who said that anyone was responsible for shooting him? That was never proven. So, you got to watch what you say out here on these internet streets.